Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Spoon with an update on our elementary garden. It's really hot out here today, and I'm sure you'll remember some of the problems we had. We had some plants that were too thick, that need to be thinned. We had a cat problem that was using our raised beds for litter boxes. So let's see what has happened in the last week and a half. All right, here we are. You can see all of our raised beds. In this first one, where the lettuce is, it also has a few beets in there and some radishes. This is where the cat was using this box for its litter box. I simply covered it with some garden wire, as you can see, the little squares, and the cat could not get back in. So that solved that problem. But with this, you have to use a low-growing crop or something that can grow up through it without getting too big. Now here you see one of our lettuce is getting really tall. Well, it's getting ready to bolt because of the heat we're having. Lettuce is a cool weather plant, so it doesn't like the heat. So now it's going to go to seed for survival, because that's what they do. They make their seed so that their variety will survive. They'll seed out in here and they'll come back more than likely this winter. Now our red lettuce, it's not getting ready to bolt yet, so it can take heat a little better. Now let's look on over here. This is where our turnips are. I don't know if you remember or not, but it was completely full of little seedlings. So I have weeded a lot of them out, kind of separated them to where they would have room to grow. And as these get a little bigger, I'll take a few more out. But they seem to be growing well. They're not a real pretty plant. In fact, here I'll show you one that has uprooted itself and has the little bulb on it down there. I hope you can see that. Right down there. But they'll all have those little bulbs. I've seen it on several of them. In fact, some of them that I thinned out already had a little round bulb, but we just couldn't have that many in this bed. All right, now here was our empty bed. I covered it also to keep the cat out, because I didn't want it to make this its new litter bed, I guess you'd say. I have put some zucchinis in here. The seed were about a ½ inch, so I put them about 1 inch deep. They'll be coming up before we know it. Now right over here, I've also covered this bed. This is our squash, yellow squash. There they're coming up really nice. The next thing I'll be doing is putting some straw in here to help retain the moisture, because these beds don't retain moisture very well. In fact, next season, I plan on putting some topsoil in with this potting soil that they used, because potting soil really doesn't have a whole lot of nutrients in it after the first season, although I did put cow manure in here to help that problem. But we will also be putting potting soil in here to help help keep some of the moisture in there. Our next bed is one of the tomato beds. When we had the freeze, it bit it back pretty hard. As you can see, I trimmed it up. It's coming back out. Our marigolds got bit pretty hard. I'm sure they got hailed on because Comanche had hail. And this is a parsley I've put in here. It's a good companion plant for our tomato. Right over here, I experimented with this bed. This is also our tomato bed. I bought a product online called Scat Cat. See the little spikes on it? I don't know if you can see those. I hope you can. Yeah, there you go. You see the little spikes. They're all over it. So when the cat jumps in the bed, it doesn't like those little spikes. Now, they're not metal. They won't hurt the cat. But I found that the cat just got in here and did its business on top of the bricks that I put in here in the blank spots to get it to not go to the bathroom in here. So I feel like I'm going to have to cover this one also, just like some of the others. And I'll end up covering them all as soon as I get more
of the garden wire. All right, over here we have our pollinator garden. Our lantana got bit back pretty hard, but it's coming back out nicely. Our fennel is looking good. That'll bring in some good pollinators. Everything in this bed is looking really good. Still green. It's been really hot. But with good watering, I think we will be successful in these beds. This mulch I put in here really does help keep the moisture in. Over here we have another pollinator. It's Greg's Blue Mist Flower. When it gets, about 20 inches tall, it'll start to bloom and it'll bring in pollinators. Now over here, there again is our milkweed bed. I'm going to be planting the milkweed in there after we have our 100-degree day on Monday. And there we have it. Some stumbling blocks, but lots of progress.
Well, that's all I have today for you. I hope you'll join us again on a new update with some new plantings perhaps, and some coverage for the dirt to help hold in the moisture. Until next time.